Hi guys, thank you for joining me. I thought I would kind of show the process of painting up this tree lord. So as you can see, it's been sprayed Games Workshop's Chaos Black, and so what I'm going to do now is using my dry brush from Artis Opus. I'm going to dry brush on the dryad bark, which will be the basic base colour for this. So I'll get that done and then we'll see how that looks and then get on to the next process. Okay guys, so that's the dryad bark on. It took me about 15 minutes to do all that. I was using not the biggest brush in the set, but the next one down. I could have used the smaller one, the next one down from that, but I think I got all the locations I needed to get with this one. So the next step is to add Doomball Brown, and what we're going to do is just so the dryad bark was a very heavy dry brush, you know, trying to hit all the surfaces, just leaving the black in the recess. This now is going to be concentrated on it's our first highlight, to be honest, so we want to concentrate on the upper surfaces and where light's hitting the tree lord. So I shall get cracking on that. So I hope you can make out the colours on this, guys. That's the Doomball Brown on now. It only took about 4 minutes to do that, basically because as you add more highlights it should be quicker, because you're not covering as much of the surface and you're not spending as much time painting. The plan is now to add Scrag Brown, and then there'll be one more highlight after this, which is the Ushabti Bone. So this is, if you like, our last brown to be adding to this figure. And again, this should only be on those areas where the light is catching the most on the figure, and trying to pick those parts out, trying to leave the previous colours alone in the recesses. So we're just hitting the very tops of the figure now. What you basically do is you put a bit on your brush and you put it on the palette, and then you make sure it gets all into the brush, and then you dry brush that way. Try not to allow the paint to get dry. One of the lessons I've learned is to try and keep the paint moist, but at the same time not heavy on the brush, so that it doesn't look grainy when it hits the figure or when it dries. You want to keep that nice how can I put it, texture to the paint, so that it is actually wet. So let's see how I get on with the Scrag Brown. This is going to be the hardest one of the lot, I think, because I don't want to overpower the previous colour. So that's the Scrag Brown added, and it's definitely highlighted the uppermost parts. I think I might just add one more highlight before the Ushabti Bone, and what I'll do is do a mix of Ushabti Bone and Scrag Brown, just to give just a little bit more of a hint of a highlight before we go to the extreme. Now the Ushabti Bone will only be on the face, the claws in the main, so this one will be the last final major highlight, I think. So we're half an hour into painting this figure. I'm now going to do the last highlight, which is the Ushabti Bone. As I say, this is going to be mainly on the face and on the pointy bits, to be honest. What I may do is dry brush this on certain parts, and then I will go with the paintbrush to get the very tips of the pointy bits. I think I'm going to change to a different brush. I'll probably go for this one, which is the next size down. It needs a bit of a clean, but it'll be okay for what we want to do at the moment, I think. So I shall get cracking on that. Okay guys, so that's the last of the dry brushing, so now we're going to move on to the detail painting. Rather than do the Ushabti Bone on the pointy bits, I thought I would do the leaves. So this is going to take the most amount of time. Sorry, my phone's just playing up. This is going to take the most amount of time because of the number of leaves on this guy, but we will crack on. As I say, I'm using the Citadel's Jacare orange as the base colour for these, so catch you in a bit. Okay guys, so we're at the hour and 30 mark. I got a bit carried away after I'd done the leaves in the Jacare orange. I then started applying the Shapti bone to where the mushrooms are on the figure, and I also highlighted the spiky bits with a Shapti bone as well. So the next thing to do, or the next thing I'm going to do, is use this contrast paint, which is Gorgrunta Fir, and I'm going to put that over the orange leaves to dull them down and give them a bit more of an autumn look. So that will be the next thing, and then hopefully I'll come back to you and show you what I'll do with the fungi, the mushroom part. So I'll catch you in a bit. Okay guys, so that's the contrast paint added to the leaves. What I want to do now is use a couple of contrast paints just to colour in the mushrooms, the fungi on the figure. So I'm going to use skeleton horde on some of the mushrooms and blood angels red on some of the others. As you can see, they need a very good shake in order to get them to work properly, so I shall crack on with that. Okay guys, so an hour and 48 minutes later, I think I've finished the Tree Lord. These are the paints that I used to paint it up. Obviously there was Chaos Black as well from the rattle can. I used my hand as a palette to get the paint off the dry brush. The first time I did this, I freaked the wife out a bit because it was just like the lighter brown and the dark brown there. She thought I'd burnt my hand. So that was a jolly jape. So I'll get the figure and we'll have a look at him together. So here he is in all his glory. I've just glued the different parts together, the torso to the legs and then the head to the torso. The finishing was the things I did to finish off, if you recall, was just to add some contrast paints to some of the fungi, and then I painted his eyes as well and just added a bit of Shapti bone to his teeth. Really happy with this result. I hope you enjoyed the video showing the process I went through in painting this. Obviously this video is after the actual reveal of this miniature. So anyway guys, I shall leave it at that. Look after yourselves and I'll catch up with you soon.